Good evening. How are we all? Oh, I'm a little crooked tonight and a little bit exhausted. I can tell you what, that Mercury retrograde is certainly taking its toll on me. I hope you're all handling it very, very well, or the best that you can. There are gremlins about and things going on. Hello, Miss Jen. How are you? Good to see you. My first on board, of course. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Mercury retrograde tonight and the effects that it's having on us because it's going through a really big shift right about now. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm just going to check to see what's going on here, making sure Facebook is where it should be and everyone is getting on board. Hello, Tamika. Hello. Yes, it's all working, I think. I hope so. Mercury retrograde is definitely playing with things at the moment. Look, it's even on board. Hello, Tamika. Oh, now I'm echoing. Hello. All right, I'll get there in the end. Right? It's one of those weeks, I think. Hello, Angela. Good to see you. How you going? And Tian as well. Oh, we're all getting on board. Here's trouble. Oh, and I just want to move something here as well. I'm just going to move that up a little bit so it's out of my way. It's annoying me tonight. Everything's annoying me a little bit today, actually. But that's okay. That's why I wanted to talk about the energies a little bit at the moment. Like I said, everyone, well, I know I am a little bit exhausted, even just, I think, more mentally than anything else. There's a lot of energies about with that Mercury retrograde, and we've been going through it for a little while now. It started, back on that full moon. I think it was around the 9th of September, something like that. But we're going through now. Mercury retrograde doesn't finish until the 2nd of October. So we've still got 4 or 5 days left of it. But we have gone through this shift where, remember, I was saying that first half of the Mercury retrograde. Hey, Rebecca. Katie. Oh no, being unwell, sending you lots of healing energy and vibes. That's not nice to hear, but I'm glad you're feeling better and I'm glad you're back. But also, just back to that Mercury retrograde, getting so distracted today. We've been going through that shift. So the first part of that Mercury retrograde is showing us where we have imbalances in our lives, showing us lots of things. But one of the things I think has been very important this time around is, where we had imbalances and where things were lacking. And that could be, with work-life imbalance. Are we working too much and not having enough time for self or self-care or looking after ourselves? Where were we lacking in our worlds? And we've kind of recognized that. The universe kind of shoved it in our face a little bit, and we've, had to look at it. But now we've gone through this shift, and the next few days you might find it's more about thinking, how do we now bring the balance in? I know what the problem is, or I know what the challenge is. How do I bring in these new things or these new habits or these new changes? Getting rid of old procedures, bringing in new ones. It could be your outlook on something. It's a good time to start new things too. We had that. Hello, Paula. I don't. Talking about Mercury retrograde and communications being off, Paula will understand that. My phone has been crazy this afternoon and I have been exceptionally busy. So, Paula, I do apologize for not answering your message yet, but I will certainly get back onto that. But we're going through now looking for what's the solution to bring in this balance? What do we need to do? But that new moon, which we just had last night, perfect time to plant new seeds. On that new moon, we'll let the universe know what it is that we want to bring into our world, what we want to grow. Planting those seeds. So on the full moon, we can then, let the universe know what it is, let the moon know what it is what we'd like to let go of. So right now, even though, it was last night, we can still do this. Good time to be thinking about vision boards, good time to be thinking about goals, good time to be thinking about how you're going to bring those into your world. So manifestation, very important at the moment. So I think taking all these emotions and these things that we've been feeling and these challenges we've been facing, you might have found the universe let you know what's been going on maybe with other people in your world. Quite often we can hear of things or people from the past now, and that's kind of, coming in. Maybe we've learnt some lessons or how we can let go of that relationship or that person, how we can move forward. So we've been experiencing those really tough in-your-face kind of moments, and now it's like, well, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to do something about it? Because there's imbalances there, and that can be why our energies are out, or we're feeling exhausted. I know, just for myself as that example, this week I have had I don't know why sometimes I have a diary. I have buggered up appointments. I've had people changing appointments because they've had life things happening, which I totally understand. My washing machine isn't working very well at the moment. My car had to get fixed. You know, there's just been all these little hiccups. My fridge is making a strange noise. And at the moment, my only solution to all of those problems is to have a chat with those things because I can't fix everything all at once, but recognizing that these things do need some attention. And my balance in my life as well. You know, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and stopping and looking and going, you know, what do I need to change? What do I need to start doing, and recognizing it, moving forward? Definitely time to make changes. G'day Jackson, how you going? Love that. Hello Sharon. Good evening. Hello Miss Charlotte. I just love seeing everyone's names come up because I know all of you and get to see you tonight and have another chat because we've made it to another Tuesday. And also, I don't know, time's feeling a bit weird at the moment. It has done sort of since the pandemic. Time kind of lost its bearings a little bit, and I think we haven't quite picked it back up again. But the fact that we're at the end of September and heading into October, which is, you know, the 3 months there, we're heading towards the end of 2022. So again, thinking about what is it that you're doing? Are you focused on it? What's been shown to you? Again, the last couple of weeks, it could be relationship issues. It could be, but it's not a good time. And I know here I am saying, you know, face these things. When Mercury's in retrograde, we really need to be careful about ending or starting relationships because communication isn't great. We may not be able to be finding our words, like I'm unable to tonight, or able to communicate how we're really feeling, or maybe we're just frustrated, or it's situational, or we've got other imbalances in our life and we think that that's what's taking from us, but actually it's not. So right now, really looking at relationships as well, contracts, work contracts, legal documents. You just double checking again that the details are correct and what you're expecting them to be. You know, whether it's, you know, your hourly rate, or, you know, a lease on a property. Be careful for speeding tickets and things like that at the moment too. So if you are feeling a little bit like, you know, my life's out of balance and, you know, things just, you know, you're busy all the time, or you're just exhausted, or you're just trying to get through that day, how about we stop, have a look, assess it, kind of be like, how can I make my world, you know, more time effective, or am I having enough time for myself? Because it is about that balance. Good time to have a look at that. If you do have some crystals at home, I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. Hematite's going to be fantastic. You know, it's really for our base chakra. It's really good at grounding our energies and staying in the here and now. It's good for the physical body too. It's good for taking heat and inflammation out the body. That's why people wear it for bracelets for arthritis and things. But I was really drawn to hematite for some reason, and I was actually looking for mine today just to help get some focus because it just feels like things are spinning around a lot. But don't worry, as of October 2nd, things are going to change. Hello. Emily. Oh, good evening. And Deb. Oh, good question, Deb. And yes, tonight is the night. We're doing a bit of a Q&A. Just touching back with Emily there as well. I have been looking into doing the night on our familiars, our spirit guides, or animals and totems. So I've been putting some notes together because I really want to also show you a couple of tarot decks and animal decks that I've got and ways that you can work with that as well. So that's going to be coming up very shortly. But Deb, I love that you asked that question. How does retrograde mess with your sleep patterns? Yeah. It does. Lucid dreaming at the moment. I found a lot of people, a lot of my clients talking about this, you know, dreams really intense, feeling the emotion, waking up almost still feeling the emotion that's going on in the dreams, or really crazy things going on. Or maybe even just stirring during the night. You know, you just kind of wake up and go back to sleep. But it is a time because the energies are a bit out of whack that we are as well. Oh, thanks, Emily. That's good. So, yes, sleep patterns can be our amethyst. If you've got some, you know, grab hold of it and just program it. So letting it know what it is that you want it to do. And that can be bringing in that better sleep. You all usually know the amethyst. It's the big purple crystal. I've got some there. I haven't got my light on it tonight. And some above me over here. Or lavender oil. If you've got some lavender oil, be great. And also just trying to, you know, as we all should be doing, shutting down before we go to sleep, because the mind's racing. You know, we've got a lot going on. We've got some imbalances going on in our world, and quite often it's when we go to sleep that, you know, our mind suddenly decides it wants to right all the wrongs, and especially at 2 a.m. So just watching those anxieties as well, because they could be a little bit high. Absolutely. And with the new moon too, you know, I find sometimes we talk about the full moon bringing in extra energy. I get a little bit more tired on the full moon and normally have more energy on the new moon, which we've just had on Monday night. But at the moment, I can tell you I'm pretty zapped. Just exhausted. So if anyone else is feeling that way, or maybe it's just me, definitely acknowledge it, I think, is most important. Sometimes we're just getting through the day, getting through the week. That week turns into a month, that month into 6, into 12, you know, and we just didn't really make any of those changes that we wanted to. So I think due dates are very important as well. When they're changes, often what we're making for self, or changes that aren't urgent, it's more about a change you're making through choice. Sometimes those due dates, you know, we don't create one. So I'll start it next Monday, or I'll think of it next week, or, you know, it's more about going, hey, by the, I don't know, 15th of December, I'd like to have this in my world, or I'd like to be accomplishing that, or I'd like to have, you know, manifested that amount of money. I think due dates are very important. It helps us, you know, set those goals and keep them. Mind you, we're in control of the due date sometimes. So I have been known to change those as well. But yes, definitely can affect your sleep. Deb, thanks for the question. Yeah, Deb, your sleep was terrible last night. How are you going with dreams? How are we all going? Are we feeling it a little bit at the moment? Yeah, Belinda, very difficult for sleep. There's a lot going on. You know, we've been showing things, and like I said, gremlins are about. We have sometimes unexpected things coming in, or the universe decides to show you something you maybe didn't even really want to be looking at, or it opens boxes you thought you'd put away. You know, sometimes ignorance is bliss, and you just pretend that that's not going on, but now really is when it can come in, you know, or even trying to fool yourself a little bit, you know, oh yeah, I'll get that done, or I'm on top of it, and maybe not. So do expect some surprises. Aoife, horrendous nightmare. You can ask Archangel Michael for that as well before going to sleep, if you're someone that likes to work with angels, asking him to be the gatekeeper for you, so only letting the good dreams come in. You know, he's got that wonderful sword that he can cut cords with, and his shield to protect us. Yeah, Paula, waking up midnight, that's stirring. You can expect this to keep coming through. This is going to be coming through now, especially until about that October 2nd with the Mercury retrograde. But I think also we've got a lot of planets doing a lot of things, and it's not just about astrology as well. It's about our lives. We're all under a lot of pressure right now. And like I said, time kind of has lost its element. And our body's a little bit out of whack and just exhausted, and going to bed, you know, when you're going to bed and you're already tired, you know, and you're like, oh, it's so good to get into bed. Sometimes it's hard to like turn off and get to sleep because you've got all those things kind of rattling around. And then going into a night of vivid dreaming and lucid dreaming, you can wake up quite exhausted. It's as if the brain didn't turn off. Yes, oils are fantastic. Hi, Susan. Lavender oil in particular, and you know, you can, you know, pop it on your wrists, on your temples. I know during winter I love putting it on my heat bag. It's a little bit too much, too warm at the moment to be able to do that. But even just, you know, sprinkle it on your pillowcase, or you can make especially if you have kids too, this is helpful, a spritzer bottle. So if you get just a normal little pump spray bottle, putting in there maybe even some lunar water, if you've made some lunar water on the full moon, or just some normal water, putting in your lavender oil, maybe dropping an amethyst in there, a rose quartz, so bringing in that you know, unconditional love and that self-love and that healing from the rose quartz, bringing in all of that good sleep and that calm and that healing from the amethyst, making sure that's what you program it for, because amethyst can bring more intuitive dreams. You can use amethyst to really activate that third eye and be asking for those kinds of dreams, but we're not really doing that right now. We're asking for that calmness. So putting that in the spritzer bottle as well. Also, just a tiny, maybe little bit of vodka. It helps keep it fresh and helps it evaporate in the air. But I used to use that with my son. He used to struggle a lot with night terrors. And so we created this spritzer bottle together, and it was for combating his bad dreams. And he would spray his pillow and himself as he got into bed. And that was really for him, that nightly ritual that kicked in. But I think definitely trying it, you know, and using it for yourself would be great. Ali Rose, my dreams have been all over the place. I dreamt last night of an old college, which was really bizarre. Did you know the college? Is it one that you knew or you went to? Was it a past thing coming forward? Oh, Susan. Yeah, unexpected. Oh, I'm good to hear that. We all like a bit of unexpected money. Isn't that lovely? Hey, Katie. Had a crazy dream where I was chasing a UFO, hiding in the storm clouds, riding a horse and being chased by King Kong. Bizarre. That's so interesting, Katie, because I had a dream the other night, actually, after watching I think it was Friday night, the King Kong movie was on the telly, and by chance I caught part of it. And of course they fly into this big storm, right? But I didn't see really the whole movie. And that night I dreamt that I was driving into this great big cube of a storm and I had to kind of drive through it. And of course, King Kong. So Katie, maybe we're on the same level at the moment. Oh, colleague, sorry. Colleague. No, I read that wrong. Yes, and maybe, and I said people coming back from the past, or maybe there's an unresolved issue there that you need to deal with. I probably should put my glasses on. Yeah. I need glasses, but that's okay. Them presenting and coming forward is a way of maybe even the universe, or your intuition sort of bringing you this person forward. Or maybe there's a situation in your life that's going on that maybe that colleague, was something you experienced with them, and that's your way of dealing with it. Or you may hear from them. It is not unusual during Mercury retrograde to be thinking of someone or dreaming of them, and then to see them. Yes, Susan, I'll be drawing cards tonight. Yes, we can pop you on the list. I'll be taking names pretty shortly, but we can pop you up first there, Susan, to be able to turn the cards. Just going to finish off answering a couple more questions if anyone had any. So that was pretty it for tonight that I wanted to cover, was just letting you all know that you're not all crazy. There's a lot going on in the energies. Do expect to be sending, like I said, text message to the wrong people, emails to the wrong people, receiving the wrong ones, or maybe the universe showing you some information about something you didn't even know was going on in the background, but it's been brought forward for you to deal with. But like I said, really good time to bring in these new habits. Aoife. No, it's horrible. And when we have those dreams and those feelings are so vivid and so real, they can linger with you all day. And it can be really hard to shake, and it comes back in again because that's something that's really tragic. It's traumatic. Maybe even being able to say it out loud to somebody or being able to write it down. If you've got a dream journal, that is something that, I found very helpful, especially if I'm having a reoccurring dream. I tend to write it down, looking at what that meaning is, maybe behind it, and what it means for you. And we can look these things up in dream dictionaries and meanings online and things, which is really helpful. But normally I think dreams are often quite personal because I might dream of a snake and I find that very threatening and that it's a warning I need to be careful. However, I have friends of mine that adore snakes and it's one of their favorite things. So for them, that would be a lovely thing to see in their dream. So the interpretation being different, and remembering to, a little bit different to dreaming of your mum there. Sorry, I hope you have sweeter dreams tonight. Let's aim for that. If you are dreaming of an ex as well, and I get asked this question a lot, does it mean I'm meant to be with them? No. Quite often when we dream of that ex, it's because we are craving, because at some point, believe it or not, we all liked our exes, right? Because that's how it started. And maybe that person, or that was the last person that made you feel really secure, or you loved being in their arms, or they gave you that good feeling. And then we're lacking that in our world or in our lives or in our relationships. And we go to sleep at night and the mind's craving it. So to bring that feeling in for you, to make you feel that, they'll present that person because that's the quickest way for you to be able to feel it. So sometimes it's about they're bringing in, you would like to feel that secure again, or you'd like to feel that kind of love again, even though it didn't end well. That's the closest thing your mind can take it to. There's also, they do say when we're dreaming, we can't dream of something we've never seen before. And at first when I heard that, I did battle it a little bit. However, because I would I can dream of New York and I'll see yellow taxis in my dream, but I've not been to New York, but I have seen them in the movies. I have seen them in books and magazines. I'm aware of the visual. So it can come in, or maybe you're dreaming of someone and you're like, I don't know that person, I've never met them before. It could be something as simple as they served you at the supermarket and, the unconscious brain kind of registered them and you don't remember meeting them or seeing them, but normally that can be the case as well. Raven, what would be dreaming of a crocodile? Hey, Ali. Oh, you didn't feel threatened. I like that. And that's usually the first thing I ask people when they're talking to me about dreams, such as things with crocodiles, is how did it make you feel? And like you said, it didn't scare you. You didn't feel threatened. But maybe the vision of that crocodile is kind of going, hey, there's something going on under the surface here that maybe you're not seeing. And you're not feeling that attack yet. Maybe someone's gossiping at work. Maybe there's something going on, in a relationship. Maybe there's something going on with the people around you. And it's just kind of, the crocodile's letting you know it's around. So that dream kind of saying there could be a threat around you. So be cautious. So the crocodile giving you a message, which is actually a good message. It's saying, hey, there's maybe some unseen things around you going on, and it's going to present itself. Because crocodiles can mean different things in dreams. Obviously, they can be very threatening. They can be a sign of anxiety and feeling under threat in different positions, like for relationships or with work. But with this, it's interesting that you mention they're just kind of showing you that they're there. So just be aware of things that are going on around. Angela, had a friend contact me, distant for about a year. Oh, yep, Mercury retrograde. Katie, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Ali. No, you're not an old lady now. I love that you dreamt about it though. And that's another thing too. When we start talking about some of the greatest kind of, psychics and intuitives that have been in history, they've predicted things hundreds of years in advance that we're now seeing coming through. Holograms, yeah, I got it. I didn't try and pronounce the other one. Emily, Mercury retrograde has been rough. Patience and tolerance, it certainly does, Emily. And miscommunications, or having to bite your tongue a little bit because right now is probably not the best time to bring something up, and maybe just waiting on it and waiting for a better timing maybe. Thanks, Susan. I just love talking, so hopefully somebody's listening. You guys all know it's what I do, and love having conversations with you, and love talking to all of you guys. This for me is it's my pleasure. I love coming on here on a Tuesday night and seeing everyone's names pop up and having a chat and asking questions. I think sometimes I'm very blessed. I get to talk to people on this vibration every day. But if you're working in an office and it's very businesslike and it's very serious, you've got serious things going on in your life, sometimes it's nice to just, get on board on a Tuesday night, be with similar people, similar vibe, your tribe, kind of just being able to know you can ask questions and talk about dreams and bring anything to me and know that I will try my very best to answer it, but I don't think I would be too surprised these days. Okay, so Ali Rose, may I ask how much more until retrograde is done? October the 2nd is when it's finished, and we can have a little bit of a shadow afterwards, sort of like a little bit of an afterburn, so we could have a couple of days where it just kind of fades out. But October 2nd is the end of of this Mercury retrograde. This year, we normally only have 3 in a year. This year we have 4. There is another one that sneaks in at the end of December that we'll have to watch out for as well. Yes, Aoife, let me put your name down for a card. Awesome, yay, it's not too far to go. And like I said, this end of the Mercury retrograde is more about, hey, we've shown you where the imbalance and the lacking is. Let's now get a plan. Let's start realizing how we can start putting these new things in, new habits into play. And sometimes learning that we need to have some self-love and some self-care. And that, we don't always have a shit ton of money to spend on that. But sometimes just taking 5 minutes or saying, I do need some mental health. I do need a mental health day, or I do need to be kind to myself. And even that's just 5 minutes with a cup of tea, getting out, getting your feet on the grass and taking a breath, just breathing. I think that's important right now. Yes, Ali, we can put that up. Only a few more days, that's right, Belinda. So yes, if you would like a card, we've already started adding to the list here. We've got Susan and Aoife and Ali and Belinda. Have I got that right? I think so far. Yes, Sharon, we can pop you on the list as well. And like I said before, yes, Tamika, we can pop you on. If you have a metaphysical question, crystals, chakras, and I think I would like to start touching on chakras a little bit more. Obviously, on a Tuesday night, I can't cover everything. However, I will be running another workshop coming up soon. But I think it is something that we can be having a look at. No, you got to figure stuff out. What does not serve you? I like that. Yes, please. So we've got Teresa there. Hey, Dee, how you going? And Rebecca. And Angela. And Jen. Now we're getting a bit of a list here, so we're going to see how we go. So I might have to just give that a second. All right, so let's start turning some cards. I thought the rain was going to be about tonight, but I've yet to hear it coming in. I'm just going to make this is just annoying me here a little bit. So also, if like I was just saying, if you have a question, a metaphysical one, maybe you want to know about, like I said, cleansing energies, clearing things, especially the home. We've just come into spring. And being able to also cleanse our energies after coming in from work. So maybe you have questions about that. Hit me up, askravencooper@gmail.com, or you can message me through the Threefold Facebook page or through the YouTube. But send me in the questions. I love answering them, and then you guys get to sort of lead this a little bit more. We will be looking at spirit animals very shortly. It was a great suggestion from Emily. Telepathy. Yeah. You said that to me before, haven't you? I just know it. You've been sending it to me. I will put that down. I'll put a little side note down here. Telepathy. It's spitting there. Yeah, they said something about storms. I think the Sunshine Coast might have gotten quite a few tonight. All right, Susan, let's have a look. And I'm not going to jump between cards tonight. I'm just going to, between the screens. They're jumping out. They're jumping out everywhere. All right, Susan, let's have a look. Okay. Drawn down here. This one. Ooh, the base chakra card. So Susan, a really good card. And I was just talking about chakras. This one here is all about home, work, money, and security. Okay, so, I did there, but I'm going to answer that straight after this. So at the moment, there could be a change in the home environment. We could be looking at a new home, some more security coming in from work as well, but also feeling better about the physical body. This will be a good change. It's going to bring in some balance, but a change around the home environment. Brilliant card. Really like this. That base chakra, sort of our energy goes from the ground up with our chakras. So if we can get that base right, that's a really good start. But it could be a change in home around you, or a change in the home, as in maybe a renovation or something like that. But normally a new base and somewhere to move forward to. I think you may have missed my question earlier about lunar water. Yes, Deb, I did. And how do you make your special concoction? I love it. So lunar water is really easy to make. On the full moon, you would do this, and that simply is having, a glass. I would preferably a glass container. That can be a jam jar. It can be a glass of any kind, or a glass bowl, or a bottle, or a clear bottle. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I think it's better if it is. And you're going to put that out on the beginning of the full moon rise, and let it sit under the full moon all night, because it's going to take in that vibration. It's going to take in that energy. And that's what we want, and the full moon's great, like we said, for, letting go of things, releasing things. So if you wanted to put that, like I said, into a spritzer bottle, and that becomes something that uses as a cleansing spray, especially for clearing your energy during the day, because even though we can do the sleep one with the lavender, you can take this anywhere, as in you can go, okay, I'm going to use that lunar water. I'm going to put some, a piece of tumbled citrine in there. I'm going to put any of your citrus, maybe an orange oil in there. And again, a little bit of vodka always helps, just to help keep it fresh, a bit like me. And also, we'll be looking at cleansing, some sage oil maybe as well. But that kind of spray you can use during the day. If you're going in, you've been in a work environment that's been a bit toxic, and you can just feel people's energy, and you just kind of want to cleanse yourself and clear it. That's a really good spritzer that you can have. Keep it in the car, keep it in your bag, but very handy. But lunar water, not particularly hard to make. and then you just pop it into a container. I've actually got one. Oh no, it's out in the other room. I'll make one, and I'll actually put some of my crystals in it as well. So when it's out during the night of the full moon, it's got maybe some rose quartz in there, some amethyst, because I really want that vibration in that water as well. So that might make for a good concoction. All right, so Aoife, let's have a look for you now. Okay. All right, let's have a look. All right, we're going to go here. Stand your ground. Now, this is a big power card, okay? It's purple because you'll probably see why you need to do that. Purple for the third eye. Some. I know what that is. Trust your intuition. But here, stand your ground. We do have a spear here, so it's kind of like, bang, drawing that line in the sand. No, I'm going to stand my ground with this. I'm not budging. I'm not going to make the compromise. Or maybe it's something to do with an agreement or a contract, and you know that that's legally standing, or that you know that you're not going to budge with this. So right now it's about staying strong. The universe does have you back. We've got this beautiful sort of sun there behind you, but it is important right now that, you know, we quite often make compromise and, you know, and, you know, feel like we have empathy for the other party, or we need to help them out, or, you know, sometimes we're too loyal to things, and it's kind of going, no, you got to stand your ground now. And not necessarily fight for this. We don't have to necessarily go in aggressively with it, but we're going to be stern. We're not budging. You've made your decision. Now let's stick with it. Hi, Susan. Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, wonderful. You know, giving you a kick up the pants to make that move. I've got plenty of clients that'll tell you that I do often give them a bit of a kick up the ass, but it's not me that does all the hard work. You come and see me and we talk about it, and we look at what's coming in, but you're the one that secured all those things. You're the one that got up and did it. You know, you're the one that made those things happen, so you need to take the credit for that. I just sat with you for a little while and we had a chat, but you walked out that door and you made the effort and you made it happen. So thank you so much for that feedback. But you be proud of yourself. You know, you did it. You did the hard work. Hey, Chrissy. No, I will pop you on the end of the list here, Chrissy. We got Delia. We've got quite a few tonight, so I will have to probably then finish this off. All right, Ali Rose, here is your card. I'm going to bang out a few cards now and stop talking in between. All right. Okay. Ali Rose, here we go. Oh, I'm going to go up here, right up this end. Let's see. Interesting, with a couple of little things that you've looked at with your dreams and things going on at the moment. This is my mental conflict card, and you can see here, well, barely in the light, he's stuck in his own head. Okay, we've got a lot of things going on here with you. A lot of overthinking, that mental conflict, in two minds about decisions. Things may not be very clear at the moment, not knowing what you really want to do. And sometimes we just got to let things marinate. And it feels like we have to make that decision right now. Or maybe we just need to sleep on it, have maybe better dreams whilst doing that. But this can be a little bit also, you know, someone who's a Gemini would relate to this card, because it's that kind of thing. Because Geminis, you know, they're the twins. They're quite often battling two sides of themselves. So you at the moment, just be careful that you're not getting in your own head too much, not overthinking this decision. We've got this number 2 here. And maybe the conflict comes from, do I speak my truth, blue, the throat chakra, you know, or do I just say what might please the people around me? So I feel for you right now. Mental conflict is never good, but give yourself a little bit of time, and especially with this Mercury retrograde around, but just finding maybe at the moment just over-analyzing. It's one of those cards where you know, when you just want to kind of tell yourself to shut up because you just wish you could just stop the chatter for 5 minutes going on in the head. All right, Belinda, let's have a look. Hey, Belinda. Oh, discontent and boredom here around the heart, and that's exactly what's going on in this card. He's a bit stuck of being in this same castle, in this same story here, and it just keeps looking at the same dark corner, you know, and he's starting to get discontent and boredom and maybe some heartache there. And what he needs to do is, if he just turns around, if he just looks at his situation differently, there's an entire new fairy tale waiting for him. There's a new adventure. There's new things he can go and do, but he can't see it because he's a little bit stuck in the situation that he's looking at right now. So this card here just saying, just maybe turning around, having a look at the other side of things here, because there is a good side that maybe at the moment you can't see. But not a bad card. It just means you might just turn around and notice that good things are there. Love that, Sharon. Let's have a look. Okay, Sharon. Ooh. The shadow card for Sharon. Love this one. All right, so it just says here that for a little while, been sitting in the dark, in hibernation, been thinking about it, looking at plans, listening to what people have to say, letting people show you a few things, just hibernating. But there's going to be a passing of the baton very soon. A lot of things are going to come to light, okay? You might actually see this situation quite clearly. You're going to be able to make better decisions because you can see where everybody stands on things. But once we make this decision and we pass this baton over, it doesn't come back. Okay, so it's almost like this will be a definite decision that you make, but everything coming to light, stepping out of hibernation, and good things, sort of coming from that. But usually first the universe needs to show us something first. But it just says here, you could find this as a big life change that's about to come in. And it's that literally passing of the baton from night into day, and coming back out into the world again. Oh, a Leo. Ellie Rose, yeah. Leos are big thinkers, and put such expectation on themselves at the same time. And of course, a fire sign. So I want to do it today. I'm an Aries with a Leo moon, so I can understand and relate to that. Tamika, let's have a look. And you might find on these nights too, even though you're waiting for a card to come through for you, that you're hearing all these little messages that are making kind of sense to you as well. That's what's kind of good when we do these sort of group readings, because everyone kind of gets a little bit else from everyone else's reading too. We're kind of all sharing. Excellent, Ali. All right, Tamika, I'm going to go back down this way, actually. I'm going to go down maybe even one of these last cards. Just want to dig in here. Okay, Tamika, we're going to take this card and we're going to run with it, okay? This is the best card in my deck. This is the universe card. It doesn't get any better than this. This is the golden ticket. And this card is saying to you right now, it's saying, okay, Tamika, what would you like? What do you want? This is the perfect time for manifestation for you. It is about planting those seeds or just deciding what the next steps are, because the universe is asking you, it's saying, hey, we're going to give you some opportunity to choose a little bit here, what comes in next. Okay, if you don't, then the universe just tends to want to teach us lessons. But use this card wisely, okay? Because, sometimes when people say to us, what do you really want or really need? Our first answer sometimes can be, I just want to be able to pay the rent. I just want to make enough money to pay the rent. And then a few months later, we're kind of complaining. We're only making enough money to pay the rent. It's not about just asking for the bare necessities right now. Dream a little. What do you want to bring into your world? If I said forget all the boundaries and forget about money and all the stresses that come with life, what is it that you want to bring in? And let the universe know. Stranger things have happened. I've seen people manifest amazing things, and I too have watched myself manifest things and can't believe it's happened. But it does, and you're very welcome, Sharon. Oh, be careful. Oh, it's literal. Oh, the cards are jumping around. Not unusual. All right, Paula, let's have a look. Okay, Paula. Spread the cards out here. I can show you. You all see it every week how I spread the cards out. Just upside down. And having a look now for a card for Paula. No, it's right here. Let's have a look. Oh, Paula. Oh, honey. It's the temptation card. This is a bit like my devil card. And this is just saying here, the universe is maybe offering you opportunity, or it's showing you new ways and new things, that you should be doing. And this temptation to go back to old ways, to go back to old habits, to procrastinate. I don't know why my camera's going in and out tonight. Again, Mercury retrograde. But the devil on your shoulder, what's stopping you from moving forward? This card for me doesn't bring in new trauma. It's just kind of saying to you, what holds you back? Are these fears or old fears that you've had, or triggers and things that you've had happen in the past, and now kind of going, are we just dancing with the devil? So maybe to get progress at the moment, you may have to face your demons a little bit and not return to old love here. Not suggested, especially not in Mercury retrograde. Tempted again. Tempted by the devil. Let's not dance with this one. Let's just move forward, which I know that you will. But we can often feel here that temptation to go back to old ways or to stay in our comfort zone. So at the moment, being pushed to step out of those and to move forward. Oh, I love that you love that, Tamika. Good evening, Miss Maureen. All right, Katie, let's have a look. You've got a few names to get through tonight. Like I said, I've just had to close the list down for now because there's a lot, which I'm not surprised. Reoccurring card. Yes, it is. And sometimes it is. Like I said, it's not bringing a new trauma. It's about, are we going to repeat it? Are we going to go back to it? Okay, Katie, let's have a look. Let's spread these cards out. Do. Okay. Poor cards are just about falling apart, but I can't let them go. Oh, Katie, I'm coming back down here. Do hope, yeah, I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better, Katie. Nothing worse than being sick and our physical body being off. Oh, and this card might represent that a little bit. This one here is the conflict and defeat card, and it says here maybe feeling that a little bit at the moment. And like I said, when we're sick, it just makes everything harder, and we're tired, and we've got to heal again and then move forward. But this one here is saying it may be easy at the moment to go back to old ways. See this conflict and defeat, not like the devil card. This is different. It says you've got some hard work that you're going through at the moment, and you're halfway up the stairs. He's halfway to this eternal light here at the top. But he's tired. He's had a lot of things going on, and he just wants to go back to this little candle, this little bit of light, but that candle's going to burn out, and he's going to wish he went all the way to the top of the stairs. It could be someone around you right now that you need to have that conversation with, or a conversation that needs to be addressed, because if we keep keeping the peace, it gives us a little bit of peace for now, but long term, it's not going to bring us, a peaceful environment or situation. Sometimes we do this when we want to quit a job or we want to leave a relationship, and you just get your foot out the door, and then you're like, no, I'll stay because just another week, just another little bit more light, when really if we just kept going, we're going to get a whole lot more light. But keep going, Katie, keep getting better. Everything's going to be okay. All right, Teresa, let's have a look. Getting better with this technology. I say that and then I bugger it up. Okay, Teresa. Yeah, we're going to go this one. Oh, this one's been out tonight already, but it's always a good reason for it. Stand your ground, Teresa. Okay, so this one's all about exactly that. And I was talking this one just before with Aoife. This one here is that it's time to maybe draw that line in the sand, put your spear in the ground, make a stand for yourself. This could be standing up for yourself. It could be standing up to yourself. Maybe you told yourself, you were going to be doing something or made some promises to yourself, and maybe you're not keeping them. Or like I said, it could be a work contract. It could be a relationship. It could be something around you where you're like, no, I got to back myself. I'm not budging on this one. Sometimes there are deal breakers, or you are aware of your rights and you're saying, no, not this time, people. I'm not budging. So stand your ground. You do have that wonderful sun behind you, and that strength and power. But yeah, look, here's this spear. Okay, we're not stabbing anyone with it. We're just letting people know that we got one, and that this time round we're not just going to go with it. We're going to stand up for ourselves. Good card. Step into your power with that one. All right, Rebecca. Oh, they're jumping around tonight, Rebecca. Oh, and every time I look over here, I kind of can't see the Facebook. It's the comments over there. They're just coming up on my screen here. I see all the love hearts coming up. Thank you, everybody, for interacting. I love that. I love seeing it. I can't send them to you guys, but... Okay, Rebecca, let's have a look. Let's flick this over. Okay, let's have a look at these cards. Okay, let's see. All right, Rebecca, let's have a look. Let me go up this way for you, Rebecca. dig through. Okay. Oh, having a couple of repeat cards tonight. Rebecca, this is a love card. It's around the heart chakra. And this one here is just saying that maybe where you are now, you're a bit tired of looking in that dark corner. Okay, he's a bit tired of looking at his castle and maybe not seeing the fairy tale he thought he was going to have. Discontent and boredom around the heart. Being maybe a bit tired of like we said, just the same thing, you know, and he's looking at this corner, but if he actually turns around and looks at his situation differently, he's going to realize there's a whole other view here. There's a whole other fairy tale. You know, sometimes it's a bit like, you know, if we were single and kind of going, you know, I'm tired of being single and by myself, you know, sort of looking at this dark corner and then realizing, well, actually there's 6 billion people on the planet. And, you know, if I can look at my situation differently, you know, maybe the world's my oyster here. So this could be work as well, you know, that discontent and boredom, tired of going in and doing the same thing and looking at the same thing. And he can't see that there is a way out. We just need to look at the situation differently. And that's going to help lift that discontent and boredom. Same in a relationship sometimes, you know, it's kind of getting that bit day in, day out. And it's like, you know, is this it? And it's like, maybe we need to look at the situation differently. Maybe we do need to plan some time together or move forward. But it's just about now sort of just looking differently at your situation and seeing that what is available and what you could be doing. All right, Angela, let's have a look. We've got Angela, and then we've got Jen, and then we've got Emily, we've got Delia, we've got Dee, and Chrissy. We're getting through it tonight. We have had some themes, haven't we, Emily? We're having some cards, similar cards jumping out tonight. So maybe we all need to be hearing these messages. Maybe. Oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. Thanks, Dee. All right, let's have a look. So here, Angela. Where are we going to go with these ones, Angela? Let's go here. Look, oh my God. You wouldn't believe it, would ya? My God, look at this. Like, we were just talking about this, and this is like every card tonight is like doubling itself. And you can see I'm just choosing them out as we go. So here we go. Angela, this one here, mental conflict, a lot of overthinking going on right now, stuck in your own head. Maybe we're all doing this a little bit, especially with that Mercury retrograde. We talked about it before. Overthinking going on. You know, Blue, we really need to be speaking our truth right now. What is it that we really want? There are some decisions to be made. We had that number 2 there, but trying to get a break as well. You know, sometimes we've got a lot going on in our world. Trying to meditate or get 5 minutes to sort of have peace of mind can be very difficult. Sometimes, you know, it's just that decisions need to be made. So maybe let them marinate a little bit, maybe sleep on it. Because, yeah, definitely overthinking going on here. And we're all guilty of that. Sometimes you've got to trust the process and just see what's going to happen next. But try and speak your truth there, even if it's just to yourself about what it is that you really want. All right, Jen, here we go. I thought it was as well, Katie. I was like, I'm sure Katie's had this card. Because I think we're talking about work at that point too, and study and getting out of where you had been and continuing to move forward. All right, Jen, let's have a look. I'm going to put these cards up because if we draw another double, I'm going to be very curious as to what is going on in the world today. Okay, let's have a look for Jen. Ooh, it's not a double, and I love this card. Show you it here. This is my new beginnings card. Get excited, Jen. This is a huge card. We are about to close the door to the past and step out onto the world. She is wearing her heart on her sleeve. She has everything she needs, including a spear. So she's a little bit namaste or I cut you, okay? So we're leading with our heart, but we aren't unprotected. Normally when I see this card, I will say to somebody in 12 months' time, everything will change. Relationship status, job, car, home, it's all going to change. We're about to start this whole new beginning, maybe even a new 7-year cycle as well. So a huge card. Any one of my cards with these black borders for me are real major cards. So here it is, that new beginning, but she's got her heart on her sleeve. She's that warrior princess, you know. She's coming out with everything that she needs. She's got a little bag of tricks here, but she's also got her spear. So, Jen, keep the faith. That new beginning is just coming around the corner, that fresh start. And like I said, everything normally changes. everything across the board. But I reckon you can handle that. I reckon you could. All right, Emily, let's have a look. So we've got Emily, and then Delia, and then Chrissy. Okay, Emily. All right. Oh, where am I going, Emily? Oh. No, down here. Oh, I like this one. I look at it before I show you guys. This one here, positive movement forward. Good news on the home front, homework, money, security. We're going to start being able to control our ship a little bit here. So it's more like you might have felt like a boat on the water, just kind of going with the tides, going with the flow here, or feeling like you had to. But some good news coming around here, and you're going to be able to put that sail up and start moving forward and having those goals that you want to sail with. We could also be moving to new lands here as well. Traveling off into the waters, trying to find, going to new lands or a new adventure. But positive movement forward, homework, money, and security. So we could have there a pay rise coming in, a new job, some more money. But you will do very well with this. You'll get a plan, and it's like, yes, this more money has come in. However, or this new job, I'm going to use that to steer my ship forward and go on this new adventure. Brilliant card. Oh, nice work, Emily. Let's have a look, Dee. Let's have a look at your cards. Yeah, too much, to and froing. And like we said, even Mercury retrograde at the moment, not helping, Angela, not helping. All right, Dee, let's have a look. Thanks, Maureen. Love it. Okay. Ooh, keep forgetting to show the cards. Let's spread them out. They kind of chunked themselves up there a little bit. All right, Dee, let's have a look. Oh, nope. My hand just starts to get a little tingly and a little warm. And that's when I know which card it is that I need to turn out. Oh, D. This is my fairy tale card. You all know this is one of my favorites, and I use the same analogy every time when I see this card. This is my fairy tale card. So this is saying here, you can have that happily ever after. You can have the end of the fairy tale. You can have the fairy tale story. But remembering something here, and I always try and remember this myself as well. When we look at any of the fairy tales, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, remembering that Cinderella got herself to the ball. Man, she got her own dress, she got her own carriage, made her own magic, she got herself out of there, she even bought her own glass slippers and got herself to that ball. And then Prince Charming turned up. He didn't save her, she saved herself. And that's this card here. This is saying right now that yes, you can have the ball and Prince Charming and you can have all of those wonderful things, but you're going to have to get yourself there. Okay, and I know you are very capable, but it's more about you will get the fairy tale, the harmony, the happily ever after, because you worked bloody hard to get it. So keep going. That good ending is there, but it is about going. You have to do it yourself. You have to work hard, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Ooh la la. It's a good card. I love it. Yes, that's so true. Yes, Chrissy. I was talking about earlier in the show, that new moon and where we've kind of switched over in Mercury retrograde from seeing the imbalances to where do we now, put these new procedures into place and replace old ones. So maybe those double cards. Absolutely. Actually, I was going to do tonight, I was going to talk about, and I thought, no, I'll save that and put it more together with something else. But synchronicities and numbers and signs from the universe, I wanted to kind of talk about that because I'm seeing a lot of those at the moment, and what they can mean and how we can pay notice of them more and use them to our advantage. So that might be an interesting topic for one night as well. How do we know the universe is talking to us? Looking at synchronicities and how we can interpret them. You're very welcome, Dee. Yes, please, let's do that. All right, let's have a look. Okay, Chrissy, you are my last person tonight that I will be turning a card for. Again, a great night. Love everyone for coming on board. Thank you so much. And then we'll turn a group card for everyone. So I'll do Chrissy's now and then one for everybody for a message for the week. If you do have some questions, as in anything metaphysical, what crystal could I use? Maybe it's about chakras, maybe it's about auras, maybe it's, just anything along those lines. Feel free to email me, askravencooper@gmail.com. But I don't take requests at that Gmail for cards. You have to be on here on the night to get a card. But for any of those questions, I can bring those to the show. And other people, I'm sure, are curious about it as well. All right, Chrissy, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm going to go down here. No. No. Yes. We're doing it again. 3's the charm. We've seen this beauty tonight already. Discontent and boredom all around the heart. And it just says here that maybe you're just getting a little bit discontent and bored about looking in your own castle, kind of sitting in your own castle, and it's kind of getting a bit tired of looking at the walls, and maybe even with love, maybe it is time to bring in a relationship, maybe it is time to bring in somebody new, but at the moment he just can't see them, he just can't really see his way out of this situation. But if he just turns around and looks at his situation differently, like I said, that new fairy tale there, that whole new adventure, 6 billion people on the planet, so it's more about how you're perceiving your situation at the moment. Maybe we just need to turn around and look at it differently, and things can definitely liven up there, but just feeling just around that hard, that discontent and boredom, and just maybe needing to sort of step out of our castle, go and explore, new places, new things, go on the hunt for that adventure, because just feeling a little bit closed in, like we've been looking at the same thing for a while and we need something new. Love that. I like the idea of adventure and being able to find something new. All right, let's do a card for everybody for the week. We will finally get through this Mercury retrograde. I don't have can someone tell me the 2nd, isn't it? Which is going to be, is next Monday the 2nd, next Tuesday. I should know this. I've been looking at my calendar all day. It is next. Let me just check this. You guys could probably tell me sooner. What's today? 27th. Oh no, it's Sunday. It's earlier than I thought. Thank you, Deb. Yes, 3 times it came out. Thank you, Deb. All right. The card that just flicked over then too. Look at that. Mental conflict. All right. Here's our card for everybody for the week. Let's check this out. Maybe too, we should talk about before it gets here, different things we could be doing on the full moon, a bit like lunar water and things like that. I mean, I know we talk about cleansing our crystals, but what else could we be doing on that full moon for ourselves? Let's have a look at a card for the week for everybody. Okay. So what's it going to be for all of us? What is it that we're looking at here? Yeah, it's this one. Oh. I really shouldn't have that reaction, but the Aries in me just can't help herself. The patience card. Blech. Okay, so this one here is saying that we're all planting seeds at the moment. Funny that, new moon, planting those new intentions, putting things out. Like you said, first half that Mercury retrograde was showing us imbalances, and then this last ending of this Mercury retrograde is a really good time to start putting new things into play and looking how we can change habits or bring balance into our lives. So planting seeds at the moment, but you might get a little bit impatient. So you're kind of going, they're not growing, nothing's happening. I planted the bloody things, but what's going on here? Just give it a minute. There are some things going on in the background here, and you are going to look up and be like, oh, I didn't notice that, there was a lily growing. I was too busy staring at the ground. But patience for everyone this coming week is going to be very helpful. I will struggle with this card. I always do. Patience is not my virtue. But we all could do with a little bit of it, especially with that Mercury retrograde. Like I said, communications failing, dates being changed, flights being cancelled, text messages going to the wrong people, conversations not going how we planned. Mercury retrograde can bring in all of those gremlins. So just being a little bit patient. The same with, the internet keeps dropping out. My car broke down. And about just breathing. Breathe through it. This will all be wrapping up on Sunday. We'll have a couple of days after that where it'll kind of fade out. But then we get a break for a little while until the end of December from the Mercury retrograde anyway. So just a little bit of patience. There is work going on in the background. We just can't see it at the moment. We have planted those seeds. I do hope that was helpful. Again, email me if you would like to send me a question. And as you know, if you would like a reading with me, you can contact me through the Threefold Facebook page, or you can call me, or don't call because I won't answer, because I don't answer my phone, and plus I'm in readings during the day. So you can text me, you can email me at askravenscooper at gmail.com. You can send me something through the Threefold page. I am doing all of my readings online now, so that's anywhere worldwide, or you can come in and do one at my office as well. But have a great week, everybody. So good to see you all here. It certainly makes my evening, and I look forward to next week. Take care, look after yourselves, try and get some good sleep tonight. Remember, maybe grabbing some amethyst or some lavender oil if you have that there. Setting that in good intent to be able to try and get some good sleep. But that's about it. So, see you next Tuesday.